we understand why we've seen this increase in US Treasury yields in particular. We understand that obviously the reflation trade has taken sort of the major view of markets. But the three reasons behind it are: number one, obviously we had the vaccine story come out in November. We also saw a positive presidential election result in the eyes of the market. But more recently, what really has got markets excited is obviously the result in the Senate and the fact that we've now got a Democratic, the Democrats are now in control of the Senate, and that really has pushed the market to expect a fiscal stimulus. And what we're saying is that we actually think that the rise in Treasury yield is going to pause for now. We've gone through the psychological level of 1%, but we think it's now going to pause for breath. So if you're looking at a sort of mountaineering analogy, we've got to base camp, but we now think the market is going to wait for more visibility before we move on and push through the sort of 1.1%.
Will, I love you putting a very comprehensive rhetoric together for the reason why the market's going, but I'm not buying it, Will, because the market rallied when they didn't think that Biden had control of the Senate, and now the market's rallied. Now I think he has got control of the Senate. In fact, the matter is he hasn't really got control of the Senate unless he uses debt reconciliation for everything, as we all know. But the fact of the matter is the market just wants to go up regardless of the politics, doesn't it?
Yeah, so the way we see it is I think the market's got to put some perspective of things. So let's look back to the non-farm payroll data on Friday, where the market was expecting a 50,000 gain, when actually it was down about 100,000 from memory. So there is some very tricky terrain for the US to navigate. In terms of Treasury yields, what we think is now going to keep a cap on it is we've still got the Fed backstop there. They are still hoovering up these treasuries in huge amounts. I think they're buying 120 billion of assets a month, and that's going to keep a cap on things. The other thing we've got to keep our eye on is actually we're in the eye of the storm now in terms of the pandemic. I think last night in the US, we saw 4,000 deaths. So in the short term, over the next quarter, we've got some very tricky terrain to cross.